Hello, welcome to my presentation, Investigating Gender Descriptors and the Gender Binary. My name is Lindsay Goins, and this presentation is for FAS 264, Sociology of Gender. In this presentation, we'll talk about how society describes people. We'll look at words that may feel feminine or masculine, and talk about whether people are confined to those stereotypes. As discussed in our textbook, women tend to use social media, showing themselves as attractive, social, and sweet. Alternatively, men present themselves playing sports, looking tough, and taking risks. Society reinforces these stereotypes by calling out people who act in a way that is contrary to them. Boys acting in a way that society deems a bit feminine are called sissies, while girls who act stereotypically masculine are determined to be lesbians. When a boy is upset, just experiencing feelings as humans do, he's often told to man up. On the TV show Ted Lasso, one episode shows Ted telling his male players to woman up, referring to them being more in touch with their feelings. Let's look at some words that describe individuals and think about whether they feel like they describe a man or a woman. Here we have caring, soft-spoken, imagination, compassionate, puppeteer, dress up, loving, teacher, and service. Do those words sound like they describe a man or a woman? They describe Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers was a Presbyterian minister who began developing children's programming so that he could communicate directly with a multi-generational audience and share his message of love and caring. He was committed to speaking directly to the viewers in a way to combat the commercialized television culture that was beginning to creep into society. He used his platform to combat racism, sexism, ableism, and more by emphasizing individuals' ability to love and be loved. Here's another set of words. Let's think about these. Bold, rebellious, warrior, violent, most dangerous of all the Indian leaders. Does this sound like a man or a woman? These words have been used to describe Rani Lakshmi Bai. She's called India's rebel queen and was in power during the 1857 uprising. She's represented in poetry, songs, novels, film, postage stamps, and statues like the one pictured here. In Indian history, she's known as the Great Heroine for challenging the British Empire in 1857 and dying on the battlefield with her soldiers. What about this set of words? Strong, fast, powerful, an Olympic champion who won more titles than any other person. Does this describe a man or a woman? These words can be used to describe Serena Williams, who, along with her older sister Venus, changed the sport of tennis. With her power and determination, she spent 319 weeks ranked as number one by the Women's Tennis Association. She won the singles gold medal at the 2012 Olympics and won 23 Grand Slam single titles, which is more than any other woman or man during the Open era. And finally, this set: sincere, joyful, soothing, supportive, gentle, creative, generous, and kind. Does this sound like a man or a woman? These words can be used to describe Bob Ross. Bob Ross painted approximately 30,000 paintings during his lifetime. Through his PBS television shows, he taught the world that we can all create, be kind, and enjoy fixing our happy little accidents. His soft-spoken, calm demeanor endeared him to the public, and those who knew him best attest to the fact that what you saw on television is exactly who he was. As defined on page 32 of our textbook, gender binary glasses are the pair of lenses that separates everything we see into masculine and feminine categories. This extends past just language used to describe people and can affect the job roles that people take on depending on their gender. In what ways have you noticed your gender binary glasses influencing how you talk to people, describe them, think about them, or other decisions that you make? As you can see in this graph, that other than medicine and public K through 12 teaching, many roles are heavily represented by men rather than women. This is especially true in the US military, as well as high ranking governmental roles like the Senate, House, and state governors. Can you think of other roles that may be highly populated by people of one gender versus another? We have seen a recent broadening of societal acceptance of individuals pushing the boundaries of stereotypical gender norms. Males in K pop groups are interested in skincare, may wear makeup and nail polish, and experiment with their hair colors. Women are breaking barriers in sports and STEM related jobs. Hopefully, this progress continues and less people feel stuck in the gender binary boxes that society tends to put people in. These next few slides show the resources that were used to gather data for this presentation. Thank you for joining my presentation. I hope it helps you think more about how the gender binary affects how we describe and think about people and affects the decisions that we make.